Yes, people, welcome to AFTV. We are here for the FA Cup game, Manchester City versus Arsenal at the Etihad. Bit of a shuffle around today. I'm your host, Dan Potts, and I've got an unbelievable panel. Make sure you tune in, like and subscribe if you're new. We're going to be here for the whole watch along after starting 11 and, of course, the full-time show and all the fan cams. So make sure you are with us. Let's introduce our guests. First of all, it's only Laurie. What are you saying, mate?
What are you saying, mate?
You good?
Hey, listen, you know what? I'm pumped for this game, you know, seriously. I woke up this morning, had my breakfast and all that, went to the gym, and I was at the gym, and all I could think about was this game tonight. So, bring it on, man. Can't wait.
Absolutely, it's a big one. Gooner in the house, what you saying, my friend?
My guy, listen, life's good. We're still top of the league, and I think similar to Laurie and obviously similar to Charlene, I'm very, very pumped. I just think that it's going to be a real good barometer to see where we are as a top team now. And listen, man, it's not the end of the world if we go out, but I'm still excited about the game.
Fair play. Charlene, what you saying?
I'm excited, mate.
Can you not tell, or can you tell? Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't even give him much away.
Yeah, I know. I've kept it under wraps, haven't I? But listen, just like
In your understated self.
Just like these two, I'm actually feeling really positive today as well. Is it just because like we're Gooners and Arsenal are just doing so amazing at the moment? Or are we actually just going to get that big W today? And I think it's just going to put a big statement out there if we do go to the Etihad and we beat Man City. You know, everyone's been asking the questions, oh, who's going to win the league? And, you know, this could kind of just set the tone just a little bit more, although I am confident that we are winning, but we need to show Man City, you know, who we are.
Listen, I love the confidence. Optimism all around.
How are you feeling,
you know
though, man? I know you're the host, but it's nice to ask how you're feeling, Dan, man.
Listen, I appreciate that, Gooner. Listen, I'm quietly confident because of the way we're playing, but I'm really interested to see what team we put out, and that will change my opinion or it will keep me confident. So we'll come into that in a minute because there's a couple of bits of breaking news today that I think we may as well touch on. One of them not too long ago, and of course this morning's as well. Laurie, let's start with you. Martinelli looks to have signed a long-term contract to Arsenal. It's come out today that David Ornstein has said it's a long-term deal running until 2027. Now, of course, we want the news that Saliba and Saka will follow that, but this is great piece of news if this is true. No.
Great news, man. One of Arsenal's youngsters come through the ranks, done exceptionally well. Nowhere near hit his ceiling yet. So I'm really happy that he signed a long-term deal, and I think we'll see the best of him. And yeah, I'm excited about it, man. Good, great news. And like you touched on, now that he signed it, hopefully Saka and some of the other guys will look at that and think, yeah, man, bit of stability there. Yeah, let's go for it.
Gooner, let's come to you, man. Listen, Martinelli, Saliba and Saka have all been fantastic, but there's always that worry that potentially one or maybe two of them might not sign. But for me, this just gives us a bit of a lift going into this game. How important is this?
Do you know what? I'm excited. I feel like, and again, I'm going to probably be like the Debbie Downer here, but I feel like because we're having so much good news today with the Caicedo links. There's been links to the kind of defensive midfielder, I think in Spain, Onana as well from Everton. It's like, yeah, okay, we've done that now. Let's move on to the next one. So yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm over it now. Let's move on to the two other big guys that we need to sign up and get those players in that we need, because we are in the middle of such a unique and poignant time in Arsenal's season, and if we get those kind of players in, then everything else will follow, in my opinion. I think if we win the league, then the other two players, it won't be a kind of idea or kind of worry if they're going to sign, because why would they want to leave? We're the Premier League champions and we're a very young team and we're only getting better. So that's just the way I look at it, but overall it is good news. It is good news.
Yeah, 100. Shah, how confident are you that if he signs, Saka and Saliba will follow?
Listen, Saka, number one, he needs to sign. He is Arsenal, do you know what I mean? Like, he's been carrying the team and just doing absolutely well, you know, when we was in our really dark and difficult times. And he's just stood out, and he's really made a name for himself, you know, in the Premier League as well as at the international level. So, yeah, I'm feeling really confident that he will sign, and it is fundamental that he does. Saliba, he's just, you know, come back from the loan spell and has just been absolutely solid. So another key player that needs to sign. And with how well we are playing and everything we're doing, I will be really, really surprised if these players don't sign a new contract. With everything that Arteta's doing, the board, everyone. You know, I'd be really surprised if they don't sign. So yeah. I'm feeling
Does
confident
anyone
they will.
know, obviously in the chat, or you guys know, how much he's actually getting per week? Because there was the rumoured 200k.
I think that's
per
the
week.
rumour. Someone can confirm in the chat
maybe
for us.
in the
But
chat, yeah.
I think you got.
Who's getting that? Saka?
Martinelli.
Saliba, I think they're all going to be hitting around about that one.
That's what I'm saying.
150 to 200. Do we think that's about right though for their potential?
Yeah, well,
No,
look,
it's a lot of money.
I think
but
as well, offering them sort of wages, you know, it's more inclined for them to want to sign new contracts.
I must
as
admit,
well,
I'm
so.
slightly.
don't say it, Laurie. It's not your money. Come on, bro.
No. It's not the money. I'm saying with Saka, I'm a little bit. Wouldn't say worried. I have a concern.
Yeah, I'm more.
That he might get poached from us.
I was more. I wanted
Yeah,
to say I
people have
was
had their
probably
eyes on
more
him.
concerned over Saliba. I think
Same.
Saka is. I think he's already done. I personally think he's already done. But
I do think all three will sign, but I think of the three, if there's going to be a slot movement there or some.
I think Saka seems like he loves it and he's happy. Martinelli is obviously signed. The reason I'm with Lee on this is about Saliba is because he's only had 1 year here. He was obviously back in France. He had personal problems. They're the ones that were up in the air. Having said that, I look at the kid and he looks well happy. I mean, all three of them
I think with
look
him
like
it's
they're
just some
Everyone
money.
in the club
I
seems
think with him
happy
it was
and
just some money
positive,
thing, innit?
so-
Like he rejected the first offer, but I understand that.
Well, I
perfectly
did a live. It's not saying it's not saying how much he's going to get paid. I did a live with James, and there was this whole kind of little game we were playing out of the three players, who's the most important and how much you probably get. Bless you. And I was saying that I would give Saliba like 180, 190, and he was like he thinks that's too much. But I thought if you look at the importance of his position, you think about. In truth, I think he's probably more of a generational talent than the other two, in my opinion. I think he probably would demand that kind of money.
Ben White's on 150, remember?
Ben White's on 150.
Or 147 or something.
And then my other point was, if Martinelli was on this rumored 200k, because this was like 3 weeks ago when that news started to surface that he was getting that money, then Saliba should be getting somewhere around that region. And James first said to me, well, he should be getting like 120, 140 for this new contract. And I said, I think that's a bit of a low ball.
Yeah,
I think that's a
that
bit
is.
low for me. But I did another obviously watch along with the Brighton watch along and with Robbie, and he was saying no, like he kind of agrees 140 is kind of where he should be getting or what he should be getting. And I thought again that's a bit low, but you know, like everyone.
But my thing is, money notwithstanding, of those three, the bigger clubs across the world, the so-called Galactico clubs, we all know they are. Cardiff set. And I also note with interest that Chelsea are lurking as well. So listen, man, look, I would like Caicedo. I think he would definitely enhance the team. But I'm just a little bit worried that there's going to be a long, drawn-out negotiation process. And I'm not sure if, in the final analysis, we'll get him. But let's hope we do.
So how much did we bid on him? Was it 60?
60.
Okay.
Which is
I think
well
they want
short of their valuation.
Yeah.
75, or they talk about
As
75.
much as 100.
I don't know about that one.
For me, look, I firstly want to say, where are all these negative people that were saying Edu doesn't know what he's doing? What's he done since he's got here? He's not sold anyone. Now look, where the barbecue's cooking and he's there. He's doing his job. He's doing his job. Like, I think sometimes we always go into panic mode as Arsenal fans because we've always got this PTSD of bad things happening before. But I think we have to just give these guys some credit, and they know what they're doing. Every single thing they've done in the last 18 months to 2 years has been nothing short of perfect. Everything has. It has. I'll be honest, it has.
We've got to go through the hard times to get to the good.
No, if you think
Was the Modric deal perfect?
no, the last 2 years, everything.
No, but was that handled perfectly?
I think a lot of the signings are banged.
But we don't know the
but
ins and
there's
outs
been
of
some-
I'm not just
that.
talking about the
There has been
signings.
some
I'm
problems.
No,
talking.
but he said
I'm talking about
everything they've done. was
No,
been
I said
perfect.
near enough. Everything they've done. If you think about even the Mudryk thing, right? No. Hold on. Let me just say, even the Mudryk thing, they had a valuation that they didn't want to overstep. And if you think about it, okay, fine. If you want your man, you want your man. But you're asking to pay whatever they've paid. Chelsea have paid what, £90 million or £80 million, whatever it is, for a guy that's played 31 league games. That's crazy to me. So I just think, yes, you're going to mention that Mudryk thing, but you also
João Felix.
you have the principle. Okay, the João Felix thing, again, it's worked out for us because we've got Trossard and we look like we're getting another player that no one thought we was going to get 5 days ago. No one had us linked to Caicedo in that regard, and now we seem to be front of the queue. So I'm just saying, look, we are seeming to be looking. I mean, there was also links to the left back, so right back, the youngster from Rio
Fresneda from Valladolid.
There you go. So there are things that we're constantly doing to try and improve the team. And if you go back and you look at, as Charlene said, every single movement they've done, every single decision, we looked at Douglas Luiz in the summer. He didn't want to go forward with it because now we're here. It's led to the position where we can get Caicedo, possibly. We're looking at Declan Rice.
No, but with respect, you're being like retrospective.
No. I'm just saying to you, every
A couple
single.
of weeks ago with the Mudryk thing, come on now. Everyone, there was palpable
No, not me.
disappointment.
Not me. Not me.
You? Okay.
No.
But then-
And I'll tell you why.
honest.
I'll tell you why I was disappointed with the Mudryk thing, right? Because long before Chelsea were in the equation, that is a guy that we had targeted.
Ali was twerking for us.
And
Yeah.
he was twerking hard.
But if you get gazumped, what do you expect?
No, but what I'm saying, we allowed Chelsea to gazump.
It took a bit long.
Yeah, they took a bit long, but that's not bad negotiating.
No, but you've missed out on the player.
Yeah, okay, you could
A
look at it.
player that, listen, man.
Looks
we
half
all-
decent.
Oh, come
I
on.
saw
Are you
10
ta-
minutes of him the other day.
I remember
And that was
Pep.
enough
I
to-
remember Pepe's. I'm not comparing the two, but I remember Pepe's
Yeah, but you
debut
are.
against Liverpool. No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm not going to go off 10 minutes. I'm not going to
course
do that.
not. No.
That's all I'm saying to you. I'm not going off 15 minutes.
No, but let me just make this point. I hear you. You're not just going off 10 minutes and money is money and the rest of it. But the disappointing thing for me with the Mudryk, I'll be interested to hear what Dan and Charlene says. This is a guy that we'd earmarked, we'd targeted. Everyone was saying, that's his man. That's the guy that's going to deliver the title for us. He is exactly what we need. But these weren't my words, These were people who know more about this kind of stuff than I do. So I'm like, yeah, I went with it. I'm like, yeah, cool, right? So then we see these protracted, stalled out negotiations, and what's the upshot of it? We lose out to Chelsea. So that's why I was disappointed.
I'm with you on that, and I agree with you. I'm not devastated that we didn't get Mudryk. That's not really the point. For me, it's frustrating that the negotiations took so long, and we allowed for Chelsea to come in. The reason I'm not so devastated also is because we've actually got a good player in Trossard, who's Premier League proven, who's a lot cheaper, who's going to come in straight away and not need the settling. Now, I know we saw Mudryk.
Am I right in saying that the Trossard thing kind of fell into our lap
But
because of what happened with him and Brighton.
That's called being
That wasn't a player that we targeted.
That's being
Yeah.
opportunist in my opinion. That just shows again good that you can find good gems in the market. And again, look, I'm not saying everything has been squeaky clean.
Well, you just said everything's been perfect.
No, I didn't. I said no. Wait.
That's why I queried.
Rewind the tape.
No, but that's why I queried. Because you said everything he's done has been perfect.
I said no.
That's when I thought.
I said near enough. I was saying okay.
Oh, near enough now.
Near enough.
Okay.
Listen, let's move, man, because we're not even spoke about not even spoke about the FA Cup. Yeah, you know. Listen, Caicedo would be a great signing for me. I think that would be unbelievable business. I can't see them letting him go, but it's going to take something big. And if we go in big, then perhaps we'll get him. Let's move on to tonight. I've got a question, guys. What is this team going to be tonight? Charlene, do we go strong? Do we rest a few? What's your thoughts on this one tonight?
We go strong tonight. We treat this as if it's a Premier League game. So, yeah, I'm full strength. I'm gutted to hear that Emile Smith-Rowe's out with an injury as well. So disappointing because he's only just come back. But with the players and everything we go strong tonight for sure.
Lee?
I think, we've got a game in, I think, 8 days. I'll just go as strong as possible. You put a gauge in there and you throw things in there that might give a curveball to Pep for the next couple of games because those are the important ones. This game, it's important in terms of maybe in the future because we want to kind of have that rivalry that Liverpool and Man City had. But I think, just go strong and try and put your marker down as a big manager and a big club.
Listen, this is where I'm at, Laurie. Go strong. Like Lee says, we've got lots of rest. I feel we might see some changes. I feel Arteta might change it up. Not like
I don't want no changes.
Not
just
wholesale. I'm not talking about the
same.
tight side that played against Oxford, Lokongas and El Ninis and Holdings and Cedrics. I'm not talking that. I'm thinking that we might see Tomiyasu, Tierney, maybe Fabio Vieira, maybe Trossard. What's your thoughts, man?
I'm with you on that. I think he should go strong for the most part, but like you said, I mean, listen, Trossard, Vieira, people like that. I'd put Sambi in as well, actually. I think Sambi needs to get more minutes. But
Good night.
It's important that we look at some of the fringe players in the team.
Not tonight.
But do you know what?
I don't want no rotation tonight. Just keep everything the same.
I think you might do it.
One thing I'll say, right?
I do want it, actually.
I always go back to what Judges and Dan Potts always said on their channel. Like, obviously, if I watch their channel all the time, there's no one out of our squad, out of the first 14-ish players, that I would probably swap from our squad to another team. But I like them all. So the likes of Tomiyasu, I like him. I think he's very, very good. I like Tierney. I like ESR. I like Lokonga. I'm not that high up on. But for me, what I'm trying to say is...
I think I'm the only one that likes him.
For me,
I don't mind Lokonga.
For me, what I am trying to say is, if there are changes, I'm not that phased. I think that they can do a good job, and I think that we need to see them. We need to be able to depend on them. And ultimately, as you're right, like, you never know if there's going to be an injury or, touch wood, something happens. Absolutely. We're going to need these players to be fit and ready and ready to kind of come in. And,
listen, we paid 34 million for Fabio Vieira.
There you go.
He come to the club with a reputation as being a very good player. He's had fleeting moments. He's still not established himself, obviously. But you saw in the Oxford game, the 2 assists that he provided there, the guy has potential. Let's step him up to this level to see what he's got. Yes, there could be a drop-off, but we need to see.
But don't we want to progress
because we might
in this game?
have to go to the likes of him as the season gets further in.
So let me ask you this, right? Shah, let's come to you. I'm with you. I think we should go strongest team tonight. FA Cup's a beautiful competition. Right? We've won it 14 times for a reason. Now, people will say, what if we get injuries? Here's my reply to that. Don't play them in the league game then, because they might get injured. Don't train, you might get injured.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to play football games.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be Arsenal Football Club. We're supposed to be able to compete in these 3 competitions, in my opinion. Now, I understand that squad might not be able to across the sustainable season. But when you look at this game right now, this needs to be a strong side tonight because we've got 8 days off, and then we play Everton. That's enough time to rest.
I think
exactly.
That's the way I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you as well.
Obviously, to rebuttal what you're saying, though, this game, in the grand scheme of things, is a nothing game because ultimately, if they got injured in the league game, that's fine because it's a league game. That's what we're fighting and going for. Whereas the FA Cup, like, ultimately, we're not as fans going to be too upset if we come out of this, but won another 2 big trophies, the Europa League and the Premier League, or just the Premier League, every Arsenal fan would be over the moon joyous about it. So I think what people would probably say back to you is, yes, it's an important game, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not an important game.
I don't know. Do you see this as an important game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong.
I'm just saying what
it's a
people
very
think.
important game. But having said that, that is why I want to see the likes of Vieira and Tomiyasu and Tierney and people like that, because there's a strong likelihood that, given the way the season, it's a long season, yeah? It's a marathon, not a sprint. There's 19 games left. We're only halfway through. It's inevitable that there's going to be factors such as injuries, loss of form, fatigue, and other factors like this. So we are, in all likelihood, going to call upon the likes of Vieira, Tomiyasu, Tierney, Sambi Lokonga. So if we're worried about putting them in games like this, then it kind of defeats the object. We need to know what level they're at. We need to know. So I would go strong, but I would let those guys play, have a go, at least get some minutes.
I was going to say as well, I think it depends who the people that are coming in. If Tierney comes in for Zinchenko, yes, it's a massive drop-off. But we all know that...
Is it a massive drop-off?
No, it is. I think we have to start being realistic and say that. I think it is. If you see,
I think you're diminishing Tierney slightly there.
No,
Maybe
listen,
he's forgetting what Tierney can do.
No, my thing is, I like him, but the way they play is so different. And I think what he brings to what Zinchenko has shown and brought to the game, I think he's actually teaching us new things. I think he's teaching Arsenal fans a whole, almost like revolution of that position.
Right.
And with Tierney, he's so simplistic but so good at what he does that it just fully changes the way that we play especially on that left hand side. So for me, I think if Tierney comes in, I think he's a really good deputy. I think he's excellent. But
so what would you say to the school of thought that Tierney is actually the better defender?
It's facts.
Yeah, that is facts.
Right.
Yeah.
So in a game like tonight, where City, let's face it, are
Hence
likely
why
to
I was
have
saying.
more of the ball, then it could be argued that Tierney is actually a better choice.
And
for this game.
I was going to say Tomiyasu. I think if he played today, I wouldn't be, because he's so good. I think he's our best
fullback's
one.
the only position in our squad that we look at and go, that drop off is not much.
Yeah.
Like, there's a huge drop off from Partey to Lokonga.
Yeah.
Some would say there's a drop off when Saliba's out the side to Holding, or some would say that Eddie's a drop off to Jesus, but he's proven that not to be so much as we thought, and he stepped up. So I think fullback is not really where I'm looking at. I just think that we might see some changes throughout. Now I might be wrong.
But don't you think that a guy like Vieira, who, let's face it, he came to the club, I remember, he's highly talented, very skillful. Some people, my brother included, has sort of earmarked his so-called lack of physicality as a possible problem. But we need to see him in games like this to try and get a gauge on just how good he is, or if he's not quite ready yet. These are the games that will show it. So there's a little bit of a risk factor there. We need to be a bit brave, but let's play him, man. Start with him, see how he goes, and then we can gauge him.
I hear what you're saying, Laurie, sorry, and I totally hear what you're saying. But I would more perhaps do that in a game next week against Everton, where they're sort of like a bit of a weaker opposition. They're in a bit of a vulnerable state as well. So, maybe we could sort of capitalise with players like Vieira then, and just, because we got to remember, this is Man City, some big players there.
Good point. Although I would say, looking forward, I'm sure you'll all agree with me, next week now is that the ante's upped a little bit now that Sean Dyche has taken over at Everton.
New manager bounce.
Yeah.
Playing them at their grounds. That's not going to be an easy game.
Today's game as well. I think they're obviously Arsenal. We all love Arsenal. We want to think about Arsenal. But the other side of it is Man City. Will they make changes? So will that actually be the real barometer? If we play our first team and they made 4 to 5 changes, yes, they're not going to be, maybe the Mahrez is starting and it might be someone else starting.
It might be Grealish.
I think Grealish. But all I'm trying to say is
whoever it is,
it might not be the same team that Pep trusts to start at the Emirates on the February 15th. So we may not get too much information from the game. So maybe some subs or maybe some differences in terms of the squad might actually help anyway, because it might actually end up being a different kind of game than what we think anyway. So.
I'd like to see Vieira start. I mean, let's be honest. In that second half against Oxford, he had a very good game. He provided 2 assists. Like I said, he came to the club with a big reputation. It cost us 34 million at a time when 34 million was 34 million. we need to see how good or otherwise he's going to be in games like this. So I'm advocating for him to start.
Well, listen, there's a couple of minutes to go until we get the team news. Let me ask you, Laurie, because you're kind of advocating for Vieiras and Lokongas and different changes. Would you have the confidence at the Etihad if you see that team news go out and you see them against Haaland, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Grealish? Are you thinking, wow, this is going to be too tough? Or do you fancy our chances going into that one to give them a good game, even with that team?
You know what I think? I think, and it's a very good question, but I think momentum in sport is everything. And I think the way we're playing right now, the vibe around the club, I think if we play a strong team, which I suspect we will, I think we've got every chance tonight. Even though City will be up for it and they'll want it. It's a massive game, but there's something about the vibe of this team right now that I just can't back against it.
Well, I'll say you're going to be happy.
Is the team news out?
I'm not.
Is it out?
I'm not happy about it.
Yeah,
Team news apparently out. Wow.
Well, I
Let's
can't see
see
it.
what happens.
I'm not happy, but yeah.
You're not happy?
No, I'm not.
Okay, that means that there is exactly as I thought it would be then. There is going to be some big
Who's
changes.
in goal?
Let me get this up.
You know, I want the host to do the job. man.
Now you've done it, man. Now you've done it, Lee. You're going to
I haven't got any updates.
Mr. Mood Killer, man. Look
I'll
at
be
him.
honest, man. I'll be honest, man. I love Arteta to bits,
7
man,
o'clock.
and I can't. Catch is looking at me in the
No,
back.
you look disappointed.
He knows why I'm saying that, but bro, listen, man. I'm upset, man.
You are.
Up that much?
I'm upset.
Who is the big change? Is it Partey?
Let's find out. One
Hey,
second.
come on, where's the host, man?
It's
Where's the
taking me
host,
ages.
man?
It's not telling me.
He's
It's
hurting my
not-
feelings.
I'll
Arteta,
find
do
out.
not change the team.
It's not up on mine.
No,
yet,
but
Lee,
how
so-
else do
I
you
haven't
find
got
out if these guys are good
Alright,
enough
let me
if
see
you
if I
don't
can-
play them?
I know, but
I know some of
tonight
the start- I
it's
know
the
some of
FA
the
Cup. You
changes
know,
and
we're gonna
that.
progress on.
Yeah, but you've got the guys on the bench that you can, if they're having a stinker, you
I
can,
know some of the changes.
But you sort of want to set the tone
Not
from
coming. It's not on
kickoff.
my phone, so I don't know.
I
What
don't know.
you've
We have
seen.
obviously different
Yeah,
views.
I'll
exactly.
tell you, I know. I can tell you now. Holding starting.
Really?
This is
No,
ridiculous.
that has come from left field.
Is this your source or is this official?
No, it's on Arsenal's. I'm telling you, it's 100%. Oh, I'm being serious. It's Holding starting.
Is that confirmed? All right, team news. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm going to leave it for Dan. It's in.
I don't mind. I can't. My phone is not working here, so.
Do you want me to get it up? Shall I read it then?
Let me get one from you.
Yeah, I've got it. Oh my God.
No, it's not working, man.
Here you go.
There we go. That's what I need.
I haven't read it all, but I've seen the
Okay.
first one.
Read it from the top.
Team
Read it
news.
from the top.
In goal, Matt Turner. No surprise there. Right back,
No, let's go through and say yay or nay. Yay.
Okay.
Turner,
Tommy
yay.
Yasu.
Yay.
Yes.
Rob Holding.
No.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Yay.
Kieran Tierney.
Yay.
Yes.
Granit Xhaka.
Yay.
Yes.
Thomas Partey.
Yes.
Yay.
Fabio Vieira.
Yay.
Trossard.
Yes.
Yay.
Saka.
Yay.
Nketiah.
Yay. That's a good team, bro. What you,
Yeah, it's a good team.
the Holding one, I'm a
I
little
told
bit.
you that he'd make changes.
You
And
did.
he has.
You did.
I knew it would be. I'm frustrated. I didn't want to see it, but I just knew it. I don't
The,
know
the
why. I just knew
only,
it.
shall I say, right? The only one there that gives me a slight cause of concern is
Holding against Haaland.
Yeah.
Holding.
No, but Haaland
Wait,
against
can we
anyone.
hear the bench? Is Saliba on the bench? Can we just
Let's
make
see the
sure?
bench. Ramsdale, White, Zinchenko, Saliba, Kiwior, Lokonga, Erdegaard, Marquinhos, and Martinelli.
Okay.
Listen, strong bench, but
Yeah.
I don't like
But I
Holding against Haaland.
I don't
I'm
like
Yeah,
sorry.
I would have
I guess
Yeah,
I haven't seen the Man City news. But
I must say, I'm surprised.
that's
at that.
ridiculous.
I'm
isn't
upset
it?
about that, man.
Rob Holding, who was terrible against Oxford, by the way.
He was so bad.
And now we play up
And
against Haaland.
can we just remember, right?
Come on.
Like
Is there an injury concern there or something?
Holding playing, right? Literally changes the whole dynamic of the way we have to play because he cannot play a high line. He's not quick enough, and you can't obviously say anything about it. It's a God-given talent to be.
What's City's team though?
Gonna find out now, but.
And they've gone strong as well.
Maybe Haaland's not
You've
starting.
seen that. What's your thoughts, man? You said you
No,
wanted
no,
to-
I've seen their team.
I'm
Strongest
okay
team.
with most of that. I've got concern with
De
Holding.
Bruyne's
I must
playing.
admit.
Everyone's playing. They're playing their strongest team.
Is it?
Why did we make them changes?
No,
You
but
know what? Even I would have
only
kept
one
in
that I have an
Saliba and
issue-
Odegaard.
I think what's happened is
Rob, if you're watching this, no disrespect,
We love you,
bro.
Rob, but we just
But-
want Saliba to start.
I'm surprised to see you starting.
I'm
bro, really.
I'm very upset about him
I
starting.
wouldn't say I'm upset, but I'm surprised
I
to
am,
see you starting.
You know what? For
I
me
would've
as
just
well,
kept
right?
things the same.
Out of all the positions, I would probably say the centre backs are gonna be the ones that I would definitely keep because of the Haaland factor.
So why do you think he's gone for Holding? Why?
You know, I think he's probably promised him to play in those cup games or, you know, turn.
Forget the promises. Like, this is Man City. Forget the promises. Sometimes things have to
that's
change.
kind of come from left. None of us saw that coming.
You know, my nan said to me, a promise is a comfort to a fool. You know, sometimes you just got to break
Sean Paul says that in his song as well.
Listen,
Sorry, I'm not happy with that.
I'd love to know.
All right, let's be positive, guys.
I'd love to
Let's
know.
read out the Man City lineup quick.
Yeah.
Ortega's in goal. Rico Lewis, Ortega, their backup goalkeeper. Lewis at fullback. Stones, Akanji, Nathan Aki. Rodri, De Bruyne, Gondowan, Mahrez, Grealish, Haaland. They have not rested players. We have. Does this just prove that the FA Cup yet again, like Southampton when we lost and Forest when we lost, is just not a priority for Arteta and now he's won it? Or is that too harsh, Laurie?
Listen, I think City, they're at home. They obviously want to win this game badly. And I think that kind of forced Pep's hand a little bit. We're going into the game as the slight underdogs. So that might have dictated some of his team selection as well. But I have to say, I'm surprised that Rob Holding's starting. Sorry, Rob, if you're watching this. I know you do watch AFTV.
So we love Rob, right? But when you're talking about coming up against Haaland and Rob in the past has struggled against some
I'd love to know
strikers.
I'd love to know the rationale behind that. I'd love to know what was
rotation and rest. He wants to rest Saliba.
but
Saliba
why?
I agree with you, but this is what's good.
Saliba.
You know what?
You
like,
see the way he
plays.
plays.
He's young.
it's hard because you know what? Every single panelist today, everyone even at home, you have to back the manager now. He's shown how good he is, but sometimes, just sometimes, you can question a decision. And to me, that is a very, very weird thing to do. Like for you to, you know, bring on. He's the longest serving player, I think, at Arsenal currently, with maybe Xhaka, but. You know, he's just not
He's
good
the
enough.
vice captain.
He's not good enough. He's just not good enough. And you can see we are now, our base level of quality is someone like Vieira. And he doesn't even reach that threshold right now. So he's not good enough. We've seen so many times, he's not even an El Neni level. He's not.
Oh, wow,
And
you
it's
put
just-
no
I'm
respect
sorry,
on his
man.
name
He's
at
not
all.
good enough.
Do you know what, Rob Holding? Come and prove Lee wrong today.
Listen,
And you hope he does. Of
If you
course.
do,
Yeah, so do I.
that is not a problem. I have no problems. Listen, everyone knows I didn't back Arteta before, and now I'm singing his praises. I'm waxing lyrical about him. No problem. I don't mind being humbled, but what I am saying is he's shown us, unlike Arteta, he's shown us he's not good enough. I don't know how many more years he's close to being the Phil Jones and getting a testimonial. You're not good enough, fella. You need to go. And why?
But I have to say, since he got his Barnet done, he has.
Listen, I don't care. You
He's
can
got
look
played better.
how good as you like. You're not good enough, mate.
William
You're just
says,
jealously, innit?
William,
Listen.
Yeah, that's
is that what it is?
I tell you what.
Just ask him where he went.
I tell you what.
Just check him out.
I tell you what. I tell you
that.
what. It could be that as well, but
He's just jealous.
I tell you what. One thing I'm not jealous of: his football skills.
Can you do better, Lee?
I promise you. I think I can probably lace up the boots and do a bit better than him today. I'll tell you that.
I also wanna
Listen,
do
William's
that.
coming with a super chat. It says, to be honest, I'm not surprised by the lineup at all, with the exception of Matt Turner in goal. I must admit, that was the one I did think would start. But overall, it's an FA Cup. Rotation is key.
Can I just say, I've got absolutely no problem with Matt Turner starting.
Nah,
He's a
neither
very
do I.
good keeper. He represented this country in the World Cup with aplomb. He's not let us down any time he come into the team. And I'll go as far as to say this. Ramsdale does need a little rest now and again, man, because, you know, we've seen him make mistakes in the past. Not to say that he's not a quality keeper, he is, but, you know, keep it freshen up. Got no problem with Turner starting at all. I think he's a good keeper.
Charlotte, let's come to you. Now you've seen the two teams. Has that changed your opinions going into this game at all?
Obviously, I did have my preference of who I did want to start. But listen, I'm trusting Arteta. I'm trusting the team that's going out there today. We want to win the FA Cup, so I believe they will turn up, and it doesn't change my score prediction. So I'm sticking with my 2-1 to Arsenal.
Lee?
I mean, I said a draw, so I'm going to stick with a draw. I think we'll try and hold out and maybe bring them back to them. There are replays, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll try and bring them back to them. For the current team, I just don't know how we can penetrate that team enough without them not scoring as well a few goals.
For me, I would say that when I made my prediction, I have to say I wasn't counting on Rob Holding starting. And whilst I'm not trying to put it all on one person, I think, well, you said it yourself, holding up against Haaland.
It's mad.
You know what I mean?
I remember
It's a
Holding
little
lost the header out to Sterling. It's just flashing flashbacks now. It's flash. I'm just like.
So I would have to say that given the strength of the City team, they do have the edge on us right now.
Are you nervous?
I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I'm more looking forward to the game. So, nervous apprehension, but I have to say that the Holding selection kind of changes the narrative for me a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I've got to be honest.
I'm with you. That's why I wanted to, hold reserve a little bit of judgment before the team news come out. I thought we would go strong, but I didn't think it would be complete changes. I'm a little bit shocked. I can't lie. I'm a little bit shocked.
And as I said earlier, I would love to know what was occupying the manager's thoughts when he made that change. Because unless it's injury, or maybe Saliba's carrying a slight knock or whatever, then it could be that. You know, we don't know what happened.
Is he on the bench? He's on the bench.
Yeah, he's on the bench.
They're all on the bench.
But sometimes if you're carrying a little knock, the manager might say, well, actually, you know.
Be feeling a bit under the weather. We just don't know.
I mean, he could have thrown.
It seems kind of strange to me. None of us saw that coming, did we?
Jakob Kiwior, I would have been so more comfortable, even though I haven't even seen him play. I would have felt a lot more at ease, maybe with him playing, because you know what Rob Holding can do. You know what he's going to do, and you know how he can't. He's not good enough.
Well, listen,
let's give him a chance, man.
A lot of people in the chat are saying give him a chance, don't throw him under the bus, see what he can do against Haaland. It's going to be very difficult, whoever plays up against Haaland. We know that. You know, we haven't played Man City yet, so...
Because I can remember, it wasn't that long ago, there was a certain member of this panel who was very dismissive of a certain Eddie Nketiah.
Right, okay, wait, hold on.
And I can remember having conversations with that person.
Wait. No. Wait, hold on. Are you talking about Kaz?
No, I'm talking about you.
Are you talking about Kaz?
I'm talking about you.
Hold on. I've been his biggest defender for a while. Hold on. Are you talking about Kaz?
No, I'm talking about you.
If people don't know,
me and
I
you
don't
went
say
back
names,
and forth over Eddie
for
quite some time, and you had
to
hold
on. No. Just because we're bored, me and Kaz, can you stop mixing us up? Oh, we don't look the same.
Unbelievable. Listen, this is going to be a tough game, whatever. We knew it was. Even with our first 11, it was going to be tough. Shah, I believe that they will have the confidence now. When they look at that team, I think in that tunnel they'll be lifted. They'll go, right, I know we can get Holding. I know that definitely there's a downgrade with some of these players now. Now, I'm not shocked that Martinelli's rested. I thought that would be the player that would have been rested. I expected either Smith Rowe or Trossard to play. Obviously, Smith Rowe is now injured. Mm-hmm. But I look at that team and I think I can see where potentially there's weaknesses at Arsenal. Where do you think we can find weaknesses in that Man City side? Because they're a good side, man.
Their goalkeeper. Let's be real, with Man City, you know, their first team, their B team, they're all good quality players, you know, and they're strong players as well. So, it's going to be a bit difficult to say, you know, sort of where their weaknesses are, because they're a strong squad. So, we just got to go out there and give our best shot, which I think we will, and we just got to fight, and I believe we can get it done.
Lee, how do we beat this Man City side with this Arsenal side?
I just think Saka's going to be the main outlet. I think, Saka and Nketiah. I mean, Trossard, again, I really like him as a player. So I think, there's where we can obviously try and get the ball up and get our foot on the ball. But the only problem is getting it up there. We obviously lose now another kind of passer, progressive passer, with Saliba not there, with Ben White obviously not there, and we've lost Zinchenko in the middle of the pitch, kind of do the inverted role. So I think Holding is just, again, going back to him, the issue that I've got is he's not a progressive passer. So that just changes the whole dynamic. So it's going to be a difficult game. Going back to what Charlene said, fight, desire, and just try and get the ball up to the front players to do a piece of the magic, I think, is the game plan for tonight.
Well, Laurie, I don't have any doubt they'll show fight, passion, desire. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is a little bit of lack of quality, perhaps, on our 11 in comparison to Man City. So what do you think this Arsenal side has to do to try and get through this game against City tonight?
Stick to the game plan. As Lee said earlier, you've got to trust the manager. I'm sure he's come up with a game plan for tonight. The players that have been given the starting berth, they need to listen to the manager, try and execute the game plan, and just take it from there, man. The momentum is with Arsenal. There's a lot of confidence running through the team, so I would expect them to be competitive today. And we could still nick it, man. Although I have to say that my confidence is not as much as it was before hearing the team sheet. I've got to keep it real, man. I'm a little shocked that Holding has started. I'm starting to feel that there might be something up with Saliba, but hey.
He's on the bench though, man.
No, but a lot of times when guys are on the bench, it could be that they're not quite 100%. So the managers looked at him and thought, you know what, let's start with Rob. We can bring on Saliba if things go belly up, so we'll see.
We'll see. This midfield battle is going to be key for me. Thomas Partey, Rodri, all season. Casemiro, which one of them's better? I hope Thomas Partey proves tonight why he's the best at the moment. That for me is number one. Obviously, we've got Granit Xhaka, who's been consistently good, ridiculously good. Yeah, everybody was writing him off, including myself in the last few years. Last season, not so bad. This season, phenomenal. Fabio Vieira, Laurie's already brought up, and I think we will miss Ødegaard tonight. I don't think they're the same type of player, but I do think that Fabio Vieira showed some quality, particularly in the last few performances. So, Lee, I'll come to you, man. Just lastly, midfield. How important is that tonight in terms of domination?
Yeah, I think, look, we spoke about having drop-offs. Currently, when Fabio Vieira's played, he's had real moments of brilliance, but he's not been that high-octane player that, you know, Ødegaard is, getting in tackles, winning the ball back, spraying the ball out, and obviously producing moments of absolute magic, even on the weekend where he did the kind of outside of the boot flip-flap was outrageous. So yeah, look, like I think Fabio Vieira is the key for me. Like, I'm not going to judge Xhaka today. I'm not really going to put too much pressure on Partey because we know the excellent thing they've done. I think Fabio Vieira is the one that I'm kind of looking at to stake a claim now, show that you are that 11th, 12th, 13th player to come on. Because obviously we saw the other day, he didn't trust Fabio Vieira to come on. He trusted Trossard. So that's another thing I think you have to look out for. So yeah, I think that's going to be a key battle, I think, as well.
I'm excited to see Trossard today as well.
Yeah, 100. Shah, Arsenal player for you that you're looking most forward to seeing tonight?
I'm looking forward to seeing the whole team, but more so Holden.
I tell you what, I might take my bloody thing off and go home now, man.
No, but you know what's interesting? You talked about key battles in the midfield, but that could be a key area, let's face it.
It will be.
No, it will
because again, no disrespect to Holding, but on paper that looks like a bit of a mismatch, isn't it? Haaland, the way he's played, and Holding, you would have to say that Haaland has a considerable advantage. But listen, man, it's football.
Don't forget, we still got
anything can happen.
Cover there as well.
Yep.
But the person I'm looking forward to seeing, I mean, Trossard is getting his first start in an Arsenal shirt, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring. He done amazing last week, so yeah, excited. Wicked.
Quickly before we do wrap up, prediction.
We could get a draw.
Come on, guys, keep this big positive energy. What happened to that buzz?
Sorry, prediction. Sorry for this thing. Yeah. What was the question?
Prediction. Come on, man. Prediction. It's not hard.
1-1.
1-1. Shah.
I'm saying 2-1 Arsenal. What are you saying?
I'm going 2-2.
I'm going with a Desmond.
Desmond. Listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Make sure you stick with us. We're going to be back for the full watch along. Make sure you get involved. Make sure you like and subscribe if you are new. We will see you there at the Etihad for Manchester City versus Arsenal in the FA Cup. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Thank you, people.